So commonly when clients find us or vice versa, the business is built around a superhero, which is commonly them. They've obviously gotten from A to B, generally doing monstrous hours. They're sacrificing a lot on the home front. A common day would look like you roll out of bed at 3, 4, 5 in the morning. There's already 15 odd emails in there, 2 or 3 missed calls, and then you fight throughout the day. Projects don't generally move without you. You have to go on site. And then the focus sort of turns into, well, how do I keep these jobs moving as opposed to, well, how do I scale this business so everyone has a good time?
We're going through a phase where we decided we wanted to grow and start achieving a certain level of builds. As I'm sure every person that's gone into this game has understood, when you start to grow and you get some staff and you have vehicles on the road, materials going in and out, calls for bills to be paid here, there and everywhere, it all becomes very confusing. And I suppose to a certain extent, the direction that we wanted the business to go in, because we decided we wanted to follow a particular path, and that was growth and become a bit more of a volume investment builder. But in doing so, there's obviously a lot more pressures on the business.
When you're scaling a business and you're scaling fast and you start to bring senior leaders in place, you just sort of find, I guess, the superheroes, or I guess those A-grade business owners, are pretty good at the gut feel and emotions. But as you get bigger, bring on more people, more projects, you can't be on every job site, you can't be across every sale, every quote. You can't be defending margins at all time without the financial visibility as well. And you need to measure yourself against a budget, and it has to be rigorous monthly. It can't be on an ad hoc, or that project feels like it's not going great, so I'm gonna look at it. That's just not good enough.
And so we approached Mick and Xact about this, and he recommended CFO advisory.
So the CFO advisory service is that strong commercial running mate. We can't sit in a dark room and crunch these big issues by ourselves. Like, we are on site amongst the people, amongst the tech, amongst the processes. So the first thing we do is you roll out a process called a deep dive. And the purpose of the deep dive is to pop the hood in the business, work out where the holes, skills gaps are, financial clarity gaps are, identify several levers to pull that will get the business owner from A to B as far as unlocking financial clarity, building a fit-for-purpose business model with the right people on the bus and the right processes in place.
So we needed some visibility on margins. Again, where we had areas to grow, could we afford to put the staff on? Could we have certain roles filled that would give us the assistance we needed so we didn't have to work 12 and 14 hours a day in order to achieve what we were looking to achieve?
When we do get that right, this is the upside we expect, this is the profit we expect, and ultimately we want to give the owner, or I guess the business owner, time back.
I never felt I had enough time in the day. I didn't understand why we always felt a financial pressure. And that was just not a nice place to be. And since coming over to Xact and meeting not only the accounting side, but the CFO side, which was a game changer for me, we just have so much more mental space for the right things for our business. We're making much better decisions around who we work for, why we work for them, and we've got a plan.
One of the pillars to unlock financial clarity is having predictability around the future. And to have predictability around the future, you need a thing called a budget. And I mean a rockstar budget. It isn't just last year plus 10%, but I want to see lots of evidence, data, jobs, starts, resourcing people.
So they investigated our costing spreadsheets, where our margins were within labour, again, our markup versus margin. Everything got broken down to the finest detail. Then we're able to adjust our pricing schedules to a way that gave us a very clear indication of where we were at every stage of the job, on every job. And now we have a monthly spreadsheet that lists out every job that's on our books, gives us a percentage of completion of those jobs, where it's at in relation to the WIP on the job, how much margin is in the job at any given time, and gives us absolute visibility and oversight at any given time.
Whatever it is, crew sizing, whatever it happens to be, we build it into the budget and go, does the shareholder get a reasonable rate of return on that budget? So commonly the business owner is working in the business, they'll be drawing a wage, but then them as a shareholder should be getting a reasonable rate of return at the bottom line. And you go, well, how do I ensure I get the money I deserve for putting blood, sweat, effort, tears into this business? Well, we need to get predictability around the future, how many jobs we need, and measure yourself against that. And if you're hitting it, great, in which case we're going to be on track to hit the earnings that you need.
I don't think we understood our business well enough to understand, hey, 20% doesn't cut it. You know what I mean? Like when you're looking at your business overheads between 9, 10, 11%, that's just not a negotiable anymore. And you've got to pay yourself a wage out of it, which has been a huge game changer for us, and getting an understanding on how to price that in. And Dan and I have sort of come up with a way where I'm happy on the way we measure ourselves and our staff. So we understand how to cover that more, our yearly wages there.
So when your business isn't predictable and you're running off gut feel and emotion, it is long hours, long days. You enter a cycle of what I call playing defensively. So you're on the back foot, people are calling you, and you have very, very little time to prepare. And if all you're doing all day is putting out fires, and well, what does that mean for the home life? Well, obviously all that gets crunched. Obviously time with the better half, time with kids, whatever it happens to be, that absolutely gets crunched.
We're all in business for our families, really, at the end of the day. So, knowing that our family overheads as well are well covered. You do open a business to get back time with your family, whether that be holidays or another couple of hours during the week. And if I'm not stressed, it's always going to be a benefit to my wife and kids. I'm just going to be a better person around them.